Hello, friends. Welcome to this channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. As you know, in this podcast channel, we discuss about latest technology development, challenges into pharmaceutical industry, and how technology will support to face the challenges, help to achieve operational and business excellence. This particular episode is focused for the top management. So I'm going to discuss about top management playbook, how navigating digital volatility will help in achieving Pharma 4. Before starting the thing, I just wanted to give you a brief idea on the concept about Center of Excellence Pharma 4. Concept is designed by Dr. Jayan Joshi, that's myself, with an objective that various emerging technologies like cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, robotics, chatbot, how these technologies can help pharma industry challenges mainly into digital supply chain management and regulatory compliances. With this objective, we have designed the knowledge base, which is available at our website respa.com. We have also designed a course, Smart Manufacturing in Pharma, which is available on Udemy platform. There are 20 modules are there. You can pick and choose the module of your choice and then go on extending it to cover the complete smart manufacturing. We have launched a YouTube channel about 5 years back. Today there are 370 videos are there. These are starting from about various technologies, challenges into industries, business strategies, going up to the audits and validation. The podcast channel which you are listening is a 104th podcast in this particular series. I'm sure you must already listen to earlier podcasts. Do share your comments, your feedback. Share this with your colleagues and network also. We have also launched a book series on Amazon platform, and these books are available in Kindle as well as in paperback. Today there are 9 books are there. I'm quite sure these books and this knowledge what really we have shared into the books will also help you. So let's start with the my session. In today's agenda, I'm going to discuss about the strategic vision and alignment, cultural transformation and change, technology integration and innovation excellence, strategic technology partnerships and innovation acceleration, risk management and resilience excellence, business continuity and supply chain resilience, performance and value creation excellence, competitive advantage and market leadership, market dynamics and leadership evolution, leadership development and capability building, and finally, implementation excellence and strategic framework. So now let us start with thinking about the importance of business alignment along with the digital vision, which is what really our objective. As you know, the center of excellence, the objective is how these various technologies, digital transformation, and pharma 4. These are the 3 areas on which we are really focusing it on. So when you are looking at it, thinking about the digital transformation, it has to align with the business objectives, business goals. So importance of business align and digital vision is the starting point and cornerstone of successful pharmaceutical digital transformation can achieve 85% implementation success rate, ensuring technology initiative. And what is that particular process? How you are going to move? What is should be your roadmap? That is what is the thing which we are discussing it. More from the top management point of view, because top management is actually driving the entire process. So effective leadership in digital transformation establishes a clear connections between the digital investment and business outcome. This is what is really required. So outcome will include accelerator in drug discovery, drug development, manufacturing efficiencies, and regulatory compliances to support to the patient's expectation, patient's centricity. That's what it is our objective. Just to share one case study, a major pharma company has demonstrated that how this power of aligning digital vision can achieve the excellence and all that. So let's get into the next thing. Is a C-suite digital sponsorship, which is the most important thing because that is what is the thing is going to drive the entire process. Now, cross-functional governance is really required. High implementation success will be achieved only when you have a cross-functional alignment. What really we are planning when we are moving from analog systems to digital system? Digital system is a system which is having a seamless data sharing across the entire organization, all processes, whether it's starting from demand planning, operation planning, procurement planning, manufacturing planning, and entire thing. So we have a different functional teams which are going to get an integrated. So cross-functional alignment is the most important thing, which requires a systematic coordination efforts. No mechanism has to really build up because you have a different stakeholders perspectives are there, which you will have to think about it from the various functions point of view. And this includes R&D, manufacturing, quality, regulatory requirements, commercial, clinical trials, and this digital changes will really help in integrating all those data capture, data centers, data integration, data analysis, and decision making and all this. So cost function. Now this requires a innovation cultural development also. As you know, our earlier skills, which are really working there maybe for years together, are working with the analog systems. So this is where we have to really look out for a digital system, digital culture, and how that data which has been captured is going to use for innovation because you have to really look at and think about it as a continuous improvements and all that sort of thing. So even though you have a good successful implementation rate, that is really going to help for the faster revenue and profitability improvements and all. So these are the challenges are there into the pharmaceutical industry. How we will build up a good, stable, consistent, and which will minimize the cultural barriers actually, when we are moving from one system to the new system. And top management has to really think about it of designing the strategies, whether it may be innovation labs or it may be taking into consideration the tolerant environment or it may be offering rewarding for the creative problem solvings which are there due to the regulatory boundaries and all that. So you have to design that culture into the entire organization. Managing change resistance, which I was always discussing it, because there is going to be a digital volatility. Traditional leadership's approaches are inadequate when we are really moving. You cannot work with yesterday's technologies on and facing the challenges for the tomorrows and all. You have to really look at it. There is going to be a constant technology disruptions, regulatory evolutions, and competitive pressures are going to come. So you have to prepare for that managing the change, and then that resistance has to really overcome. So there are fundamental uncertainties are there because of this regulatory cultures and all that actually. So which needs to embrace into the innovations to maintain the safety and compliances. These are the two focus areas which you will have to take into consideration. Now the challenges into digital transformation is that at present there is only maybe a very low percentage of success in the digital transformation because of various reasons, and this aligning all those various resources, whether you have a manpower or machines or technology supports, all those needs to work together. We always discuss about saying that it's a head, heart, and hands. They have to work together. We have to have a holistic approach and all this sort of thing. And this is a main challenge for the leadership. So top management playbook, I want to really focus on to this challenge. The leadership challenge is preparing the team to with a cross-functional integrations and all that, and then that will be taken into consideration while designing the digital strategies and all. So building, when you are building up an organization, cultures and all, you have to keep the flexibility. You must have that agility, so the implementation processes are flexible. And that will help you to achieve a good success rate and all that sort of thing. And the key components which you should really think about it is the rapid response of the capabilities. As you go on building up the capability of the technology, capabilities of the team, that will really drive the faster innovation, faster implementations, and that will lead to optimization of the resources and improvements into productivity, profitability. And so transformation requirements, if you start thinking about it, changing of the organizational structure, the team, the people, building up a communication across various uh, key stakeholders, different departments, geographies, and all that. That is what is most important, and that will drive to a performance measurement, personal benefits, and all that. Now, as we discussed in the beginning, there are a lot of new technologies are really coming up. Artificial intelligence, its advanced analytics, and its integration is going to play a very important role. Only thing we have to really keep it in the mind is it has got a high implementation success when you do it in the right strategy because the cost is very high. You need to have a good hardware, software, the team which are going to shift or transform from the old systems to new systems. So the transformative opportunities are there. Opportunities will be there into the drug development, into your manufacturing processes, which will finally lead to the patients and the customers and all that. But this needs again, as I mentioned earlier, a integrated system. You should have that strategy. You should do a good planning. You have to train the skills from old systems to the new systems and all that sort of a thing. But that will help in your manufacturing system, your process parameters, your regulatory submissions and all. And then the real-time data can help in a correct, accurate decision making. So you will have a minimum disruptions and all that to achieve the operational business excellence. So you have to plan for the digital platform ecosystems. How that is done is basically I'm going to discuss over here. At present, most of the companies will have their own legacy systems, So where you need to have a modernization and you want to achieve some 60% rate, you want to reduce the technology debt by 60%, so system or performance can be improved and all that sort of a thing. So these are the challenges which you have to keep it in mind and all that sort of thing. Because these old systems were implemented over decades, actually. It's not yesterday or two or months back or something. These are getting evolved over a time and all that sort of a thing. And those systems have their own drawbacks because those are silos based. So they are not really integrated with the modern operations and all. What really we are looking when we are thinking about a digital transformation, we are looking for an entire integrated system. So that's basically starting from demand planning, demand forecasting, going up to the entire process of sales and operation planning, procurement planning, manufacturing planning, going up to the warehouse and finally to the patients and all. So this entire system implementations is the most important thing. At the same time, it should also support to the regulatory requirements. So this is where we have to think. Now, doing it on your own is maybe a big challenge. So we always suggest to have a technology partner. New technologies which are really coming up. So you will have experts from cloud, from IoT, from blockchain, and even from the transformation point of view also. And that will lead to a good success rates. So you will have to have a technology partners from technology also. At the same time, we always say that no, you should also have a strategic partner from the domain also because some of those experts who have done similar project into some other companies or some other pharma industries, so they will have that expertise, experience and all. So this who will also have a knowledge of regulatory constraints and how that technology can help in building up a paperless documentation for the regulatory. So these have to really work together. So you must really build up a strategic partnerships onto a long-term benefits point of view, and that collaboration will help to move faster into the implementation. At the same time, you have a golden opportunity to think about the innovation also. You should not really think about what you are doing presently just to migrate it onto the technology. So sorry, no. You must also look at it and think about it that how that technology can also build the innovation or can help to build up that data which you can analyze it and plan for the better improvements and also. So you have to also leverage the external capabilities as I mean, was discussing about the strategic partnerships, know about technology, academic institutes or technology companies and all, who can really help you in digital transformations and all. So this expertise is really difficult to get it, but you must really look at it and think it and give them a good opportunity to adapt to those technologies into this. So some of the well-known companies like Novartis, Bayer, and all that, they have really built up AI companies and achieved a good success rates into those things. So balancing this internal and external strategies along with the teams is the most important challenge, but that will be required to build up that ecosystems and all that. Another important factor which you should really think about it is cybersecurity and data protection. Cybersecurity is important because when you're using connecting various applications, connecting many stakeholders. They may not be there from a particular group or something like that. So cybersecurity is becomes more important because you have access to the very important sensitive data, whether it may be related to customers or procurement or quality parameters or manufacturing systems and all that sort of thing. So this again requires a high implementation success rate is really required, because even if a small mistakes or things may lined up into the problems and all this sort of thing. And in pharma industry, this risk factor is more high, basically because some of those parameters which I mentioned earlier is are to be taken into consideration. So you have sensitive data either related to patient or related to your intellectual property or something like that. And in manufacturing, it is still more important. So you have a very much critical parameters which needs to be considered and all this other thing. So regulatory requirements are also to be supported to this. So regulatory compliance integration is also very important because it's as I mentioned earlier, we are looking at it for building up a complete digital ecosystem, digital supply chain management system, integrating various areas which are going to share the data. And then that high implementation success will help if you really support this to the regulatory requirements also. So this will help in reduction in the compliance violation. Accelerated regulatory approvals will be easily possible because there will not be any manual interventions and data sharing will be there. So even from one manufacturing stage to second, third, or to the packing and all that, the real-time data is available across the system and available onto your network and all that sort of thing. Complex regulatory environment data, which is really required, also gets captured and it stored into the proper format as desired by the regulatory authorities and all this sort of thing. And real-time visibility can really help in achieving the better things and all this. So if there are any possibilities of any potential disruptions or something, those can be also avoided. And we are looking at it thinking of integrating with the complete supply chain. So supply chain risks are also there. So that will also help in this entire integration will help in reducing the disruptions, and the digital technologies which can be used are real-time visibility, predictive analysis, automated response capabilities. It is should be used and all that sort of thing. And in case if there are any challenges into pharma supply chain system, because we are covering the various geographies and getting data from them, which you will have to really keep it in mind. So these are the some of the risk factors are also to be thought about it. And that we'll have to really take into consideration about the business continuity planning. So even though there is a high implementation rates are there because of the huge investment, but the success can be really achieved, and high success can really help you to improve the uh, support to the customers and the patient with a good right quality, right time, right price. So all those things can really help a lot for companies. Now, during COVID, we have seen there were a lot of critical issues there into the entire supply chain management. But over a period of time, now with an advanced technologies are available, most of the companies are now geared up and all that sort of thing. And then this digital continuity plan can also help in by a backup system, remote work, and alternative suppliers, and uh, planning for the any failures, procedures, and all the things. Now, our top management look at it into this particular project, they should also look at it and think about it, the ROI measurement and the value orchestration and all that sort of thing. So, implementation success will achieve or good KPIs will be there. The challenges which you will have to think about it, this is a long-term development plan. It's not a something a short project that maybe do it for 3 months or 6 months or something and see the benefits and all that sort of thing. Benefits are really going to take a long time. Anyway, we should really always look at it and do the analysis for quantifiable uh, benefits and qualitative benefits also. So some of those quantitative benefits also you should be able to track it out and all that sort of a thing. Sorry. To achieve business excellence or uh, maybe improvements into digital forecasting about the quantity so that you can really monitor your inventories, or you can also see that how many percentage orders delivered to the patients or something, and are there possible areas which you can improve it. So this is a continuous process. So this is where operational excellence can be achieved. So, as I mentioned it to you, like digital forecasting or analysis, that can really help to improve the implementation success. Operational productivity improvements will be there. Optimizing manufacturing process, enhancing the supply chain operation, and improving in the quality management system. These are the benefits which, when you start implementing the digital technology into manufacturing, can be achieved and all of that. At the same time, companies should also focus on to improving the precision, consistency, efficiency improvements, and regulatory compliance. So this will lead to the operational excellence and all. Creating competitive advantage is another area which you should really think about it into your playbook. Another areas is like implementation success. As I was mentioning, implementation success will depend upon your planning, your demand forecasting, everything and all. And these are the various areas where superior capabilities which can go on building it up by adoptions of the innovation, efficiencies, market responsiveness, and all that sort of a thing. And that will give an advantage over the competitive environments with the other uh, players into the markets and all that sort of thing. And that will help you to project your company into a strategic market positioning. It will help you from establishing leadership positions into the market with innovative business models, which you can think about it. Patient-centric care approaches can be built up. Superior performance will be available from time to market for a new products or something, or even from the customer's order point of view, it is going to take some X amount of time. You should also think about it, how we can improve onto that. So those are the things. Enhance manufacturing efficiency, supporting regulatory approval rates, and these are the benefits will be there. And further, there will be opportunities for breakthrough into the innovations will be there, because that will have a coverage about digital technologies in science and pharma, and that will help in redefining the analysis. Digital volatility and strategic response is another factor which you should really consider. When I say digital volatility, that since we are really looking and integrating the various different technologies and their advancements and all that sort of a thing, you have to keep that in mind that it has to have a complete seamless data sharing, and whatever stakeholders expectations are there. As we mentioned, there are different geographies or different departments, and every stakeholder will have his high expectations, different focus areas and all this, and which you should really keep those in mind and all. Cybersecurity, I already discussed. We have to really working into a pharma system where starting from the patient's health data to your manufacturing data to your procurement data, everything needs to be changed. And continuous rapid changes are coming up into the regulatory. So you have to really go on fine tuning your systems and hardware, software, or something like that, which should really support to all those regulatory requirements and all. Strategic scenario planning, you should really think about it. We discuss how you should partner with different technology companies, different implementers, different industry associations, and all that sort of a thing. And this will help in working with all those expertise and your key scenarios. You can go on building it up, depending upon the regulatory requirements, competitive requirement, market disruptions, and all that. And this will help in building up a cohesive internal team that is required first, and then you should really look out for the outside teams and all this other thing. So role of predictive analytics, artificial intelligence also you have to keep those into the strategic point of view. What really you are looking, what is your expectation? Because each company to company, their requirements will be different, depending upon the your type of a business and all that sort of thing. So top management should really look at it and think how digital leadership capabilities will be developed and all that sort of thing. So developing this should have a technology fluency, data-driven decision-making skills to be built up, change management expertise is to be developed, and expansion into traditional leadership will focus on to incorporating digital strategies. Think about the innovation management, think about the transformation capabilities. So these are the things which you will have to think when uh, your top management, digital leadership capabilities are to be developed, and you have to invest into all those areas and all. So, coming to how we can have a digital competency framework, we we have to keep maybe around five different parameters. Is first one is of course have a strategic vision, what we want to really translate, no, and how that will help in generating the new opportunities. Second thing is technology understanding, as the new technology is coming up and they are coming so fast that understanding keeping space with them is a very important thing. So you should know about your current technologies and emerging technologies and technologies coming up in the next 3 years or 5 years or something like that. And keeping those things in mind, we have to really plan for the change management skills which are to be there. And that needs to get supported by cultural transformation capability. We have to have the new digital culture needs to be built up actually. And that will continuously need a training and learning. It may be the technology training, it may be your systems training, it may be your adoption of that data training to your decision makings and all this. So these are the things which you have to keep it. Then coming to the transformation management and execution. So you have a unique challenge for the pharmaceutical to digital transformation. So the digital transformations also the concepts go on changing, technologies go on changing. You may adopt a cloud, you may adopt IoTs, you may have a IoT and cloud working together, and then when you are looking for the results, you may have to add on that with the artificial intelligence and machine learning. So this transformation management needs to be taken into considerations, and then that execution has to be planned, no implementation or shifting from the old legacy systems onto the new system is to be planned it out and all. And this requires a lot of complexities. Every organization I will have their own challenges, their own complexities will be there. So you'll have to keep those things in mind, and you have to interconnect all those various systems to the research, development, manufacturing, and commercial thing and all. So transformation management offices are to be established. They will go on driving the entire process, and this is where change management and everything will be taken into consideration. And finally, from the top management point of view, as we are focusing over here on the top management planning or a playbook, we have to keep this as a governance and strategic oversight. Because finally, from the management point of view, they should be able to have a good grip onto the entire organization, the processes, and all that. It should also do the balancing between the innovation and compliances and all that sort of a thing. So that's the most important thing. Establishing digital governance. As we know, we are planning to move the entire manual processes onto the digital, so the data-driven decision making will be much more easier, but you should also have a control onto the digital governance because data is getting captured at a various location, is going to cloud, and then it is going to get analyzed, and depending upon the stakeholders, the data will be shared up and all this. Right? So effective governance is more important. Governance structure needs to be built up depending upon the organizational levels, board level, management level, and all that actually. And this needs to be taken into consideration with the complexities that are coming up and on. So coming to the various technologies and what should be our next generation capabilities. No, this is where we were working or discussing about moving from present legacy systems to the new system. But at the same time, we have to also think about it, okay, what is going to be the future? What's going to be the new things which are really going to come up in the next 3 years or 5 years? So we have to also start thinking right now to plan for those things also. So when we discuss about the integration of emerging technologies now, cloud computing for the molecular simulations and drug optimizations are also coming up. This will may have a potential breakthrough into molecular simulation. So your drug development, drug optimizations can also take place and all that sort of thing. At the same time, new AI tools are coming up. As you know, last couple of months, everybody is now talking about it as AI. But how and where we will adopt to that particular AI and what details or what data or what analysis we expect from the AI system, we should be really clear and we should really plan for that accordingly and all. And this finally comes everything to the leadership and management and all. So leadership should really start looking, thinking about all those factors and parameters while drawing a new plan actually. Strategic competitive positioning is required to create a name and image into the industry leadership and all that sort of thing. So whatever I discussed in the initial uh, discussions, factors or presentations and all that, we have to now see that how our company can become an industry leader. No? So you have to think about the innovation, operational efficiencies, regulatory agilities, and market responsiveness. These are some of the factors which I thought I should list it out onto this, and that will lead to the opportunities of convergence with the pharma science and digital technology. So precision medicine platforms, digital therapeutic ecosystem, patient centricity. These are the things which we will have to really positioning it, and this positioning for the future market point of view is also to be thought about it. Finally, with with this brief discussion, I'm coming to a conclusion is that digital volatility navigation is the most important thing, and top management playbook must include this as a top priority because now you are really looking for a high performance organization, and you should not really getting struggle into the its adoption and transformations and all that sort of thing. So uncertainties should really go out. You should be having a competitive advantage in your industry with your competitors and all that sort of thing. So you should really think about the strategic vision alignment, cultural transformation, technology integration, risk management, and finally the performance optimization. So with this all parameters and all, I thought I already discussed this on to various other social media platforms also. I again request all of you to look at it, those various platforms. I'm sure you will find a lot of inputs. Do write to us if you find some areas are still missing. Do share these links and with your other colleagues and your industry partners and everything also. And write to us if you still need any help into the challenges, topics, and all. Thank you. Bye.